Hey friends, and welcome to Yoga with Rachel, and this right here is Angel. Today's yoga flow is all about creating space. No items are required today, so let's just hop on to it and get started. Join me in a cross-legged seat on your mat. Let's create space by relaxing the shoulders away from the ears. Take a few shoulder rolls, gliding your shoulder blades down the back body to create a lift in your heart space. Wonderful. Now find some gentle and easy movement with your neck, such as neck circles, drawing a slow circle with your nose one way, and then take your circle in the other direction. Bring your head back over your heart space. Release your hands to your lap, palms face down. Imagine that there is a weight in your elbows. This weight is encouraging your shoulders to melt away from your ears, creating more space. I invite you to either look down and past your nose or close your eyes. Breathe in to fill your lungs with air. And then breathe out. Yoga for creating space. What does this mean? Well, it can mean a number of things. One way in which we create space on our mats is through our breath. On each inhale, can you feel that expansion taking place in your chest? And then notice what happens on your breath out. As you breathe in and out here, can you create more space in your physical body? And what I mean by this is, can you feel your shoulders melt further away from your ears as you breathe in and out? Do you notice a softening take place as your breath encourages your teeth to part and your jaw to relax, creating more space in your mouth? Can you use the breath to ground down through your lower body, creating more space for you to sit up a little taller? So connecting to the breath will be very important today as we cultivate space from within. In doing so, we can also create space off of our mats. Space can help us demonstrate flexibility. Space can encourage us to let go of what doesn't serve. It invites us to be open to new ideas or perspectives. The space to explore and to stay curious. Finally, I invite you to complete this sentence. I create space for blank. What do you create space for? Or, what would you like to create space for? I create space for love, for creativity, for making mistakes. I create space for play and fun. These are just a few examples. I invite you to carry this intention with you as you flow on the mat. And what makes this super interesting is that our intentions may be very different. So how you move on your mat today may look different than how I move, or it may feel very different. So with that in mind, I invite you to take a deep breath in through your nose and then empty it out. open up your eyes if you had closed them. Release your right fingertips or your palm to the earth. Breathe in to reach your left hand to the sky. Notice that space in your side body. And now, reach your left hand towards the right side. Breathe deeply here, breathing into your left side, noticing your ribcage expand on the inhale, and then relax a little bit on the exhale. Breathe in. Breathe out to come back to center, releasing your left hand to the earth. Breathe in to slowly send your right hand to the sky, spread through your fingers, lengthen through your side body, and now reach over towards the left side. Breathe deep and nourishing breath cycles here. Breathe in. Breathe out to come back to center. Bring your left foot in towards your body if it is not already there. Your left heel is resting by your right glute. Now guide your right foot over to the left side, planting your whole foot on the earth. Your knee points towards the sky. Bring your hands to heart in prayer position. Twist your upper body to the right. Connect your left elbow with your outer right thigh. Use your breath to create space here as you journey deeper into this twist. Now, this may be a very subtle movement, so there's no need to force anything here. If you notice that you are clenching your teeth, create space. Part your teeth and your lips. Breathe in. Breathe out to unravel, coming back to center. Make your way back to a cross-legged seat, but this time your right foot is hugged in, so that way your right foot is close to your left glute. Guide your left foot over to the right side. Hands come to heart in prayer position. Slowly begin to twist your torso to the left. Connect your right elbow with your outer left thigh. Create space here as you lift your heart to your thumbs. Breathe in. Breathe out to unravel, coming back to a cross-legged seat. Send your hands from left to right, arch through your back body, lift your chin slightly. Draw your palms back in space to create a sweet opening in your heart space. Breathe out to send your hands forward, palms facing away from your body, round through your back body, and your chin releases towards your chest. So this is just a variation of seated cat-cow. Breathe in to open up, sending your arms from left to right. Create space in your front body. Lift your chin towards the sky. Breathe out to send your hands forward, rounding through. Create some space in your back body. Can you feel that stretch, especially in your upper back? One more round. Breathe in to open on up. And then breathe out to round through. Breathe in to return to a neutral spine with your hands resting on your thighs. Send your right leg out long and on a diagonal to your body. Keep your left foot hugged in and connected to your inner right thigh. Guide your rib cage to face your right leg. I like the visual of smearing peanut butter across the rib cage to encourage this action, so feel free to use that visual if it works for you. Breathe in to send your hands up and overhead, and then breathe out to fold forward and towards your right leg. Place your hands on the earth. Breathe in to create length through your spine, and then breathe out to round through, forehead towards your knee. Use the breath to create space in your right hamstring. There is an option to bend at your right knee if that does feel better. Listen and respond. What would feel best? Slowly rise on up, bringing your right leg in as you send your left leg out long and on a diagonal. The sole of your right foot rests against your inner left thigh. Guide your ribcage to face your left leg. On your next breath in, reach your hands to the sky. Create space throughout your whole torso. Breathe out to fold forward. Breathe in to look forward. Breathe out to round through. Head towards your knee. And breathe here. Gorgeous. Slowly rise on up, bringing your left leg back in, coming to a cross-legged seat, and then make your way to all fours. Give yourself the space to move slowly in these transitions. When you are there, bring your big toes together and your knees go wider than hip distance apart. Walk your hands under your shoulders. Rock your pelvis forward, creating length in your low back. Press away from your mat. As you breathe in, slowly reach your left hand to the sky. Look up towards your hand. We are creating space in our shoulders and the chest. This is a great stretch to come to if you spend a lot of time on the computer or texting. On your next breath out, slowly lower your left hand back to the earth. Let's take it on over to the other side. Breathe in to slowly send your right hand to the sky. Look up. Breathe out to allow your right hand to return back to the mat. I now invite you to continue this action for a few more rounds, alternating between right and left hand, moving at a pace that feels good for you. Let your breath lead the way as you move. All right, balance it out. So one more on each side. And then release your hand back to the earth, so that way both hands are planted on your mat now. Walk your knees under your hip points. Maintain that length in your back body. Tops of your feet root down, fingertips lightly grip your yoga mat. Step your right foot back towards the back edge of your mat. Breathe in. And then when you breathe out, lift your right foot away from your mat. Toes turn down. Heel is roughly in line with your hip, so that way your leg is about parallel to the ground. Breathe in. Breathe out to send your left hand forward, thumb pointing towards the sky. Create space here. You can imagine that you are being pulled in two directions. So there's an option to stay here, or you can play around with bending at your right knee, sending the sole of your foot to the sky as you reach your left hand back to grab the top of your right foot. Press away from your yoga mat as you open on up through your heart space. The top of your foot presses into your hand and your hand presses back. Breathe in. Breathe out to release, reaching your left hand forward once again and your right foot reaches behind. Breathe in. Breathe out to make your way back to all fours. Now step your left foot towards the back edge of your mat. Breathe in. Breathe out to lift your left foot away from the earth. The top of your right foot firmly presses into the ground. When you are ready, reach your right hand forward. Press into all that is connected to the earth for stability. The low back may be tempted to arch a little here, so hug that belly button towards the spine to create that length. So I invite you to stay here, or you can begin to bend at your left knee, reaching the sole of your foot towards the sky. Slowly begin to reach your right hand back to grab the top of your left foot. Your foot presses into your hand and your hand presses back. Notice where you feel that stretch taking place. Can you create more space in this area? Perhaps using the breath to help you accomplish this. Breathe in. Breathe out to release, sending your left foot back and your right hand forward. One more breath cycle before coming back to all fours. Great. Make your way back to all fours. Walk your hands wider than shoulder distance. Curl your toes under and then lift your hips to the sky, downward facing dog. Anchor through your left heel as you sweep your right foot to the sky. Breathe in. Breathe out to shift forward, hugging your right knee in towards your chest, and then stepping your right foot through. Hands frame your right foot. On your next breath in, rise up, reaching your hands to the sky. Breathe out to relax your shoulders away from your ears, creating space. Keep that back heel lifted and bend into your right knee. Your right knee is stacked over your ankle or slightly behind. Guide your hips to face forward. Breathe in to draw your thumbs back in space, finding a slight back bend here. Breathe out to float your hands down and behind your back body by your tailbone. Interlace your fingers as you reach your hands towards the ground and then away from your body. Enjoy the sweet stretch for a breath cycle. Let's take a slow breath in together. And then as you breathe out, release the bind, sending your hands to the sky, creating some space between your palms. Breathe in to look up. Breathe out to float your hands down, fold forward, plant your palms on the earth, and then step your right foot back, finding a downward facing dog once again. Anchor through your right heel as you send your left foot to the sky. Breathe in. Breathe out to draw your left knee in towards your chest, shifting forward like in high plank, and then step this foot through. Press into all that is connected to the earth to help you rise up, reaching your hands overhead. Breathe in to find a slight back bend. Breathe out to melt your shoulders away from your ears. Breathe in to look on up. And then breathe out to swim your hands behind you, interlace your fingers, knuckles draw down and then away from your back body, creating space in your front body as we draw our shoulder blades closer together. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. And then breathe out to release this bind and then send your hands to the sky. Breathe in. Breathe out to begin to hinge forward at your hip, releasing your hands to the earth. Plant your palms and then step it back to a downward facing dog. Take a slow walk to the top edge of your mat, where we will meet in a forward fold. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in to sweep your hands high into the sky, standing tall. And then breathe out to draw your hands to your heart. Bow your head and close your eyes. Perhaps you consider your intention here. I create space for blank. What are you creating space for? I create space for playtime. I create space for laughter. I create space for quiet and stillness. What are you creating space for today? This is something that can also be applied off of your mat. There's no right or wrong, just something to think about. Breathe in through your nose. Breathe out through your mouth. Open your eyes. So, if you are standing at the top edge of your mat, I invite you to make your way to the center of your mat and then turn to face me so that way your toes are facing towards one of the long edges of your yoga mat. Send your arms from left to right, and then step your feet so that way they are underneath your wrists. Point your toes forward. Rock your pelvis forward, creating length in your low back. And on your next breath in, slowly reach your hands to the sky. Palms are facing forward. We are making an X shape with the body. Spread your fingers super wide, creating a lot of space here in this posture. Breathe in. Feel that expansion in your chest. And then breathe out to twist your upper body to the right. Keep your hands reaching overhead. Breathe in to make your way back to center. And then breathe out to twist your upper body to the left. Breathe in to center. Breathe out to release your hands to your hips. Turn your toes out to face the corners of your mat. Maintain that length in your back body as you begin to bend at your knees. Your knees are stacked over your ankles. Release the top of your right forearm to your right thigh. On your next breath in, sweep your left hand to the sky. You can imagine drawing a big rainbow overhead. Roll your left shoulder back. Breathe in. Breathe out to come back to center. Keep your knees bent. Release your left arm to your left thigh. On your next breath in, draw your rainbow overhead with your right hand. Even here, create space between your ears and your shoulders. Breathe in. Breathe out to come back to center, and then rise on up. Turn your toes in. Find a small bend in your knees as you hop your feet together. Breathe in to send your hands to the sky. Breathe out to fold forward. Plant your palms and then step it back to a plank. Breathe in. Breathe out to lower your knees to your mat. Swing your legs off to one side, coming to a seat. And then we are going to transition onto our backs. Take your time. When you arrive there, hug your knees in towards your chest. And now send your arms from left to right. Turn your palms down so that way they connect with the ground. Connect to your center as you slowly melt your knees over to the right side. Guide your left shoulder blade down so that way it connects with the earth. Or at least that is the intention. We are working to create some space across the entire chest, especially the pecs. Breathe here. Beautiful. Press your palms down into the earth as you slowly lift your knees back to center, and then slowly melt your knees over to the left side. Make use of your breath to create space in this reclined twist for a few breath cycles. Great. Slowly lift your legs away from the earth and back to center. Release the soles of your feet to your mat. Slide your hands to your sides. Slide your right foot out long, and then your left foot. To follow the theme of our class, take up space with your feet and your arms, making use of your whole yoga mat. Snuggle your shoulder blades under your back body to lift the heart. Tuck your chin in slightly. Breathe in. And then as you breathe out, close your eyes. Take a moment to notice how you feel. Are there any other areas of the body where you can create more space? Starting with your face. And now moving to your neck, to your shoulders, arms and hands, to your belly, your hips, legs and feet. Finally, I invite you to say, I create space for blank. You fill in your blank. I create space for quiet reflection. I create space for self-love. What do you create space for? Can you apply this off of your mat? Join me by taking a slow and even breath in through your nose, and then a lovely breath out through your nose. Thank you, my darling friend, for being here today. I hope that you enjoyed this Yoga for Creating Space class. A gentle reminder to subscribe to Yoga with Rachel to support high-quality, free yoga and wellness content. Sending lots of love your way. Take good care. Namaste.